Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm a music producer with about 10 years of experience. I'm currently in Vietnam producing music while traveling Southeast Asia. Going full-time wasn't easy and I made a ton of mistakes along the way. So today I'm going to share the 5 tips I wish I knew when I started producing about 10 years ago. Tip number 1. Cut your living expenses so that you can go full-time sooner. So early on, I thought I would need to build a big studio and have a ton of gear to succeed, but honestly, that was a huge mistake, and reducing your costs is a much better strategy. The less money you need on a week-to-week basis, the sooner you can go full-time with your music. And once you do, you gain a huge competitive advantage because now you have way more time than most of your competitors. 95% of music producers are not full-time. And all that extra time is going to give you way more ability to find clients, market your work, make videos, and make better music. So right now I'm here in Da Nang, Vietnam, and I live on a fraction of what I was spending in San Diego. My portion of rent is about $500. Meals can be $2 to $4 at a restaurant, and that's allowed me to put more money into savings, but also reduce my overhead, which allows me to comfortably be full-time as a music producer. You don't necessarily need to move abroad, but definitely consider downsizing your space, moving in with roommates, finding ways to reduce your overhead costs so that you can make that jump to full-time much easier. Every dollar you save buys more time to build your music career. And the faster you get to full-time, the faster you can accelerate your progress. All right, tip number 2, build a brand so artists like, know, and trust you. So I used to think that posting beats online would instantly lead to sales, but nobody wants to be sold to on social media. That's not why they're there. Pushing buy my beats on Instagram totally misses the point. Instead, you should share authentic content, something that takes the viewer into your process, shows a bit more about you and your personality, and really showcases yourself as a producer. Artists need to like, know, and trust you before they'll ever buy your work. And this is going to be the reason they're going to choose your beats and services over anybody else's. By sharing your process and your passion, you'll build a connection that becomes the reason that people choose to work with you. Building that trust is the key aspect that turns your followers into potential clients. Tip number 3 is stop trying to handle every aspect of music production yourself. Personally, I used to think I had to write, mix, master, play every instrument in the beats I was creating. And my tracks were pretty good, but they were not the level that they could have been. As a guitarist, now I focus on only what I do best. On 90% of my beats nowadays, I'll record the guitar, I'll do the drums, and then I'll go to a platform called Musiversal to hire amazing pro session musicians for the rest of the instruments. So typically I'll hire a keyboardist, I'll hire saxophone players, cellists, violinists, all kinds of great musicians to really take my tracks to the next level, instead of trying to program those things in MIDI or learning to play those instruments myself. I actually tried learning saxophone, but ultimately I realized that it would be much more effective if I hired a pro musician who's been playing sax their whole lives, versus myself just playing for a year or two. There was no way I was going to get the tone and the quality of playing that a pro would get. I personally love using Musiversal because they allow you to really affordably find amazing pro musicians and book them easily for remote recording sessions. And if you want to learn more about Musiversal, I have a full review on the platform and that'll be linked in the description. All right, tip 4 is don't be afraid to invest in high quality plugins. There are certain plugins out there that are incredible that will actually really help make a difference, but you should only buy a plugin if it solves a problem that you can't already address. And what's really important is to learn every plugin that you buy before you buy another. Also, never steal or crack plugins. If you're serious about building a music career, which if you're watching this, you probably are, then this is one of the stupidest things you could do. You just have to do things the right way. You can't expect an artist to buy from you if you're stealing your plugins and your DAW, right? If you steal, you'll be stolen from. All right, tip number 5 is to focus on one income stream before you diversify. A lot of producers push multiple income streams, whether that's selling beats, mixing and mastering, selling sample kits, posting beats online, YouTube channels, sponsorships, right? And these things are all great, but if you don't focus on one and get good at one thing, you will spread yourself way too thin and you will never get good at anything enough to make any serious money from it. Pick one focus, whether that's custom beats, mixing and mastering, making content for music brands, and commit to being the best at that. I've pretty much moved from making all kinds of genres to just making R&B. And I used to sell samples and beats and have all kinds of offers, and now I'm pretty much only focused on making custom beats. I'm personally not going to invest in other income streams until I really solidify this for myself. If I were you, I would not chase the next shiny idea or business model. Honestly, any music income stream will work as long as you stay consistent and become exceptional at it. But you'll never become exceptional if you don't have focus. So there you have it. These are the 5 tips I wish I knew when I started producing. To recap, reduce your expenses to become full-time, build a brand artists trust, outsource your weaknesses to professionals, master your plugins with integrity, and focus on one income stream until you're the best at it. These strategies have allowed me to build a full-time income while traveling the world as a producer. Like this video if this has helped, and subscribe for more music production advice. And if you'd like to learn more about Musiversal as a way to affordably hire pro session musicians, my full review will be linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.